The National Archives and Records Administration, which by law is tasked with making sure that we have access to the documents and correspondence of past administrations, apparently had to haul away multiple boxes from Mar-A-Lago of documents that had been taken from the White House to there for some reason. It apparently includes records of communications, gifts, and letters from world leaders. And that is, I'm being told, a violation of the Presidential Records Act. Because of course, the act never said, well, you can just take it home with you if you want. That's fine too. You could do that. You can put it in like a storage shed in Reseda or something. No, you have to give it to them. Anyway, they also let us know that it is quite frequent actually that administrations will have little violations of this. It's a lot of documents. You expect some errors might come up every once in a while. But they did say that the Mar-A-Lago thing's out of the ordinary. There's never been like that many documents that have been transferred intentionally out with the outgoing administration. And in addition to them being there, also, they said that some of the records were ripped apart and then had to be taped back together. So that's exciting, that's fun work. Why would that happen? Well, no, Trump just rips up the documents. Interviews with 11 former Trump staffers, associates, and others reveal that Trump's shredding of paper was more widespread and indiscriminate than previously known. And despite multiple admonishments, that is amazing, extended throughout his presidency, they had to figure out policies to help because he won't stop. Think about that. The shredding of paper was more widespread and indiscriminate is how you talk about a new puppy, not how you talk about the most powerful politician in the planet. Just give me the papers I need to. Trumpy got a shred. That's what he did, Adrienne.
Yeah, no, he has no respect for the law whatsoever. Just this thought that he is above everything and he can do whatever he wants. It's just really to the detriment of our nation. But it does seem more like a toddler, a puppy, a child who's out here ripping up documents and then also taking them home. Who knows what he destroyed, to essentially engage in destruction of evidence so that things can't necessarily be tracked back to him. Like, this is wild to me.
Yeah. Well, and not to jump ahead, don't worry about the graphics, but apparently they also just bagged up and burned documents too, which is generally the sort of thing you do when you're totally complying with the law, when you're mass burning documents. But look, we joke, and we just did, and we will in the future, joke about the fact that he has this toddler habit of ripping apart papers, and I don't know, like apparently on the presidential desk, he couldn't have anything he could fit in his mouth because he just puts everything in there. But think about like if you're one of the people working, for instance, I think they had aides at the office of the staff secretary or the Oval Office operations team. They would come in after his meetings and there's just shredded paper everywhere. And they would have to then tape it back together. I don't know for sure. It's possible that that's just a thing that people get hired for, those groups. But probably if you're working in the White House, you're a conservative, right? You're probably a Trump fan. You're probably on the right. And your job is to spend hours taping paper back together because they've asked him to stop, but he just won't. So now your whole job is doing that. Like, wouldn't you lose so much respect for that person and their movement? Maybe I'm petty, I don't know, I would.
No, I don't think that you are petty or anything. Like the fact that this individual is not complying with the law and feels the need to tear up documents despite being told multiple times. Like, again, you're not a puppy, you are a person and you are supposed to be like one of the major leaders of this world. So yeah, I would lose a lot of respect for that individual.
And by the way, like the multiple stories now have come out. He rips apart stuff. He stole a bunch of documents, brought them to Mar-A-Lago. They had burn bags. But her emails, they were very concerned about that. How dare you communicate on not an official thing? Which, by the way, they also all did that. It's weird. It's almost like they weren't being honest.
Yep.
Almost like that. Maybe someone should look into that.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.